Hello everybody, welcome back. In this video we will talk about the latest update or latest release rather for the anime scripter, the release of 1.4.0. You may see that I have skipped a version of 1.3. That was mainly because of the fact that 1.3 was generally speaking was focusing on bug fixes, and there were no major updates in terms of features. This release will not be much different in that regard. I've focused on a couple of bug fixes and performance improvements in terms of interpolation and a few new features, but mainly most of the things will come with the release of 1.5, which will contain a couple of things I will spoil at the end of the video. Going right into it, you will go to settings and you will see a new option, dedup method. Clicking on dedup method, you will have two variables or two options to choose from, FFmpeg and SSIM. FFmpeg utilizes, well, let's generalize it first and foremost. I want to say that I'm generalizing here. FFmpeg utilizes the MP decimate filter, and SSIM stands for structural similarity index measure, I think it was. Generally speaking, FFmpeg is about 4 to 5 times faster on my system, but it may be a bit less accurate in terms of the output. You can play around with them and see which one works better for you. Though what I've noticed is that SSIM should require a lower sensitivity than 50%. I was happy with 30 to 40%-ish, whilst FFmpeg needs somewhere in the neighborhood of 60 to 70%. I will repeat myself, SSIM should be a bit more accurate, and but of course with tax in performance. You will also see a new option, the upscale model, RealEsrgan and RealEsrgan-NCNN. As mentioned previously, NCNN versions are for AMD and Intel GPUs, while the non-NCNN versions, of course, is for NVIDIA GPUs. I've also added a Redmi TXT in version 1.3, I think. Let me check where it is. Not log TXT, this main. Yeah, so I did a couple of informations, I guess, things to consider, whatnot. This should guide you in terms of how to utilize the script and certain limitations that depend on your system. Just to generalize it, if you have an NVIDIA GPU, you can utilize everything in here. If you have an AMD GPU, you can utilize the NCNN versions. Of course, the same applies for Intel GPUs. And anything else will fall back to CPU. I think that's most of it. I've also improved the interpolation performance. I do not have any benchmarks on hand, but from what I recall, I was getting somewhere in the neighborhood of 85 FPS with Rive 4.14. You should now get approximately, well, I was getting with the new release approximately 95, so that's about like a 10 to 15% improvement in performance, and you should definitely feel the difference now with this release. Compared to 1.2, I've fixed a couple of bugs when it came to really long videos and stuff not importing properly, but it's not necessarily a groundbreaking update. Most of the features will come in the release of 1.5.0. As a small little spoiler, I guess, or you name it, I have been working secretly on well, not really secretly, if you're on the Discord server, you can say it, on a GUI, on a graphical user interface for the script, so that you can utilize it without having to install After Effects and whatnot, or utilizing the command line interface, just so we can also help the people that don't have After Effects, of course. It's not a finalized UI, it's still, as mentioned here, alpha. I'm still working on it. It should come by the time 1.5 releases. But yeah, that's pretty much it for this release. Thank you very much for supporting the script. I've received a couple of feedbacks, and I'm really happy to work on this script and receive your guys' support and feedback, of course. Have a wonderful day, evening, and whatnot. Talk to you later, guys.